Hi there and welcome to the Nutt Sewing Machines YouTube channel. My name's Lucy, I'm the shop manager here at our Birmingham store, and today we're going to go through the setup of a Brother VR embroidery machine. So this is how a machine may arrive with you in its box, so it's obviously quite a large item. So we're going to show you in this video how to actually unpack it correctly, and we're going to put it onto a stand, but if you don't have that you can also pop it onto a table, but just how to get it set up and so you're ready to go. So yeah, we're going to literally start from the very beginning. It comes with all this kind of packaging straps on, so get rid of those. And there is instructions on the top of how to actually remove these, so you can always refer to them as well. So we'll just undo these straps and the ones at the side as well. Just unwrap any outer packaging. So then we've got to get the tray out the top of the machine first, which has got all loads of the accessories in. If you just gently open the lid. And then this first top tray here will just lift out, it's not that deep. And we can set that aside for 1 minute. Next step is to actually lift off the cardboard, so to the cardboard box itself. And so at the bottom here we've got these little clips that are holding on this cardboard shield, so we kind of squeeze these together, raise it up, and that pops out. And so we've got a few of these around the machine. So this now releases this section, so we can just lift it off. Fold it flat. You might need a large room to do this in. And then we'll just pop this out of the way over here. Okay. So inside we've got the polystyrene that's fully encasing the machine to keep it nice and safe. So it's just a case of releasing these little bits of tape on the sides to open up the sandwich, if you like. Now there are some accessories built into the sides of these polystyrene as well, so just we can remove these as we go along. So this is the thread stand. And on this side we've got the frame set. And I think that's everything, and then we can reveal. Oh, we had it the right way around and everything, that's good. So there we have it, your new machine. How exciting. So next stage is to pop it up onto our stand or onto your table, if that's what you have, a nice sturdy table for this machine. And then we'll show you how to kind of get everything else set up. So we've just popped the machine onto the stand here. So it's got out of the polystyrene tray that it was in. It's got a couple of handy grip guides underneath here, so for getting it in and out of the packaging, so it's always good to have one person either side. I had my helpful cameraman give us a hand. And so now on the stand as well, you've got these nice little divots that the feet sit into, so it's very secure. This is an additional purchase, so you can check that out on the website as well. So now it's all safe up there. We'll go through the accessories that you actually get with the machine briefly, and then show you how to actually set up the thread mast and everything else to get sewing. So on the accessories, I'm just going to pop these bits there for the moment, and because I do need the toolkit that comes inside this box to set up the machine, which is really handy. Everything's included, all screwdrivers that you need. All here. So that's the toolbox. This is your kind of proper toolkit for everything that you need to do with the machine. We've got kind of PC connections, the frame arms that holds all the actual frames, and the set of frames here, and the power lead as well, which we've already got one in the wall. But we'll get the mast set up first of all. So get that open there. We've got the mast at the top. So this takes quite a bit of time with all the blue tape to get rid of all these blue bits. Maybe the powers of YouTube can speed this up a little bit. Rid of all of these bits. So we've got this protective section around here that you kind of need to wedge out. And then there's a section you take away at this point, and then you can just gently pull this away in the direction of the arrow as shown. Okay, so we're ready to pop the mast on. And so we've got a couple of screws on the mast, one on the right and the left, and so you need to remove both of these before slotting it onto the top of the stand. So you can get your Phillips screwdriver. We'll just undo those. Don't lose the screws. Okay, and so this kind of sits on that little bar that's in the middle. And so both of those bits slot into there, and then it sits in there like that. And so you can see the screw holes either side. So we've got one there and then one around this side. I'll do this one first. And you want this just sitting right up vertically. And the reason that it's got kind of this rocking system, so is that if for transporting you can kind of travel with it partially screwed in and lower it down. But otherwise for actual embroidering and when it's in use, you need this to be perfectly straight up. That's one. And two. Okay. And so with all the packaging removed, any of the blue tape and any of the cardboard and polystyrene, and with the mast on, the machine is now ready to go. So it's a case of we'll plug it in and thread it up and give it a test. So plug into the back. There's also the on switch. And so on the display, This is a message you always get when you first actually turn the machine on, and that message about oiling the hook will always be there. And you can move this around as much as you like. I think we're getting a bit of glare there on the screen, but this is actually fully adjustable depending on how high you have the machine set up as to where you want the screen to be. So once that message has gone, about oiling the hook, it will come up with that message every single time you turn the machine on, but you don't actually have to oil it every single time. It's only really when you've been using the machine a lot, probably about every few hours of sewing, that you would need to re-oil the hook. So it isn't something you have to do every time you turn the machine on if you've only done 10 minutes of sewing or whatever. So just bear that in mind, but you can always call us for advice on that if you need to. So if we just do the little setup on here, so obviously we would like it in English, but choose whatever you want. We'll set the clock. First one I've set up on 21. This is going to date this video, isn't it? Actually, it might be quicker to go backwards. I'm going to guess the time, it's about that. So now we've done the initial setup, it's just going to make some movements and do some calibration of the arm. And this is all perfectly normal. Just calibrated the foot as well there for us. So we'll do the bobbin first of all. Bobbin case is already inside the machine, so that will be closed. To open it up, just bring this lever down, and to get the bobbin out, it's literally this little arm, pull it out there. So bobbin case is here, and currently we haven't got a bobbin in there. We'll pop one in. I just need to get one from the box. Right. So in your box of accessories, you will have a pack of pre-wound bobbins. That's these here. And these are the ones that Brother supply, that you can purchase as well directly from Brother via ourselves. These are the Magna Core pre-wound bobbins. So these have got, as you can see, like a black section and then a plain blue plastic part. And it's the black section. This bit's like a magnetized section that just pops into the, just trying to get the end. So we pop that magnet side into the bobbin case. And with that, the bobbin is running off clockwise, which is what we want. That's spinning clockwise into the slit and into there. I can feel there's a nice bit of tension on there, and our bobbin spinning clockwise. Get this into the machine. You can either hold the lever out again and it'll go in like so, or if you get it into that pit and then push it. But if you do it the second way, you will feel a very positive click, which I'm sure you just heard then. I'm just going to trim this tail down a little bit to maybe about 3 or 4 inches, and then it will get tucked away and put into at the bottom of the machine. They even give you scissors in the pack, so literally everything here is supplied. There we go. So next is to attach the standard frame arm A, which is the carrier that will hold most of the hoops that, all of the hoops, no, most of the hoops that are supplied with the machine. So this is called a frame holder, and this is the one we're going to pop onto the machine first of all, and this is frame holder A. So first of all, take off these grey screws here. They're always done up too tightly, I forget. But luckily you've got something you can use to help loosen those off. There we go. So these need to come out all the way, because these are what we're going to use these holding, this is just like a holding place for them to actually screw it to the machine. Now those are removed, we can slot this on, and just be mindful at this point of the space between the needle plate and the foot. You don't want to be kind of like jamming it in and damaging anything here, especially when you're removing the hoop as well. So just be wary of that, and mindful that you do need to keep things nice and flat and even when they're going through past that needle and the foot. And then when we're at this point here, I'm going to locate the frame arm. So where am I going for? Where's the hole? There it is. I kind of lay it down and slide it along until it kind of locates. There it is. So it's mainly this little lug that needs to go into the hole on the actual machine arm itself there. And then our 2 screws. One over here on the right hand side. And then one here on the left. You want those up kind of fairly tight so that everything's secure, nothing's moving. There will be a little bit of play that way, that's perfectly normal, but we don't want it to be kind of any of these metal parts moving around on top of each other. So to attach, we'll just thread up the machine and then we can pop on one of the embroidery frames with some material and just show you how it stitches. We do have another video though as well with more in-depth detail of how to use the functionality of the machine itself, so do check that one out as well. It's also on this channel. So I'm just going to, now I've got the bobbin in already, so we'll got a nice blue thread, hopefully we'll be able to see it really clearly. On the VR, some people do think, oh, it's a 4-thread machine because there's 4 spindles. These are basically just, they're actually just holding spindles, so you can actually line up your next colours. This is a single head machine, single needle, and so you can only use one colour at any time. I'm going to start over here at number 1, and we're literally going to follow the numbers. So we're coming down here to 2. Underneath this little initial pre-tension unit. You can feel there it's got a bit of tension in it already. And then as per the engravings on the machine, I'm going to go all the way around this tension disc. And again, we can feel it's got a nice bit of tension into that clip there. And then if you pull down a bit of excess, go underneath that number 4 and through number 5. Next is 6. It's really good on the VR, it's very clearly labelled. Down into that, and so the thread now will just kind of show up around the needle area. And using another tool in your box of tricks, this little one here, this little fella, he's going to help us thread up into the top threading guide, so the needle guide. So we're going to go right up and over until the thread is right in front of the needle. Just pull down a little bit more excess before we engage the needle threader. Then we're going to go to the right hand side of the needle threader, because the needle threader is coming around and hugging the needle. So we're going to go to the right hand side of that and then up and into this clip here. And then it goes right over the top and trims off. So now you've got both hands free and you can thread the needle. Perfect. Now I've just noticed on our threading here, and this is what happens when the thread's loose, there's a little bit, it's gone a bit wayward here. So it's always worth giving it another check before you start stitching that all the threads are in the right position. So we're going to use the smaller hoop, this is the 10 by 10 centimetre, just to, as an example, to get it stitching. All of the hoops come with these little guides as well, so you've got your 20 by 20 hoop there as well, and also your small frame set, but we'll look at, I think we've got another video with more detail on those bits. I'm going to turn this way. And so one of the most important things about getting an embroidery machine going is the hooping and the stabiliser. So here I've got the kind of lower outer frame flat stabiliser. This is a medium weight tearaway that we use quite often for loads of different, it's suitable for tons of different fabrics, but you will find that stabiliser is a journey and you will find the things you like and what's suitable for what you're doing. I'm going to just pop this felt on top, and then I'm going to finish off the sandwich with the main inner hoop. Try and push it in. See, that's not going in, so I just need to loosen it off a little bit more. That gives me a bit more space. There we go. So I've popped it in. We can see we're still a little bit baggy on the top here, so I'm just going to give this a little coax, just pulling it inwards around the edges of the hoop to get it lying lovely and flat. And then on the back, I can see that my stabiliser's got no creases in. It's nice and smooth. Lovely. And then with the screw, I'm just going to do that up finger tight, and then use this screwdriver just to give it another couple of turns, just to make sure. You don't want to over tighten the screws, so another couple of turns after you've got it finger tight with that would be plenty. So now we're ready to load it onto the machine. So at the minute we can see that the frame arm A is set to a setting that's too wide for this hoop at the moment, so we just need to make a couple of adjustments. Well, one adjustment. So if we unscrew just a little bit, that one, the middle screw, and then the larger screw on the left, which has been done up too tight, there we go, a little bit as well. And then we will be able to get a bit of play on this. This will move in and out to these kind of predetermined little stopper points. So we'll get to where we need it to be. There we go, that's the one. And when we've got it the right one, just tighten these up again. You must remember to tighten them up again, otherwise the machine will not know what size it has on. Okay, now we're ready to load. So again, we're going to just take our time and make sure that we're going nice and flat to the needle plate so that we're not damaging the foot or the needle area. Slot them underneath these plates and then they locate. Snaps into position. And that's the fabric loaded, ready to embroider. We're going to do something super simple because we've have done a more in-depth video which you're more than welcome to watch. So I'm just going to select some text. Just going to go with an L for Lucy. So that's it knows we've got this hoop on, so that's our 10 by 10 centimetre box that it's showing us there. We then hit embroidery. The lock button, which is actually the unlock button, that will make this green. And that is then ready to sew. And you get a lovely little song when it's finished. So you just press OK, and then your embroidery can be revealed. So you see it's trimmed all the jump stitches. That's another great feature of the VR machines. So when it's going from one section to another,
I forgot what I was saying.
the stitch over a certain length, it actually trims that automatically. There's nothing else for us to trim. It's really neat on the back. The tension's all correct. Just seeing a little bit of the white there, that's perfect. Very happy. Straight out the box. They just work. They're great tools. Okay, so we're just going to run through a couple of the things that we find key points to really get you going successfully with your new machine. So first of all, bobbin case area. Again, I know we showed you earlier, but just to make sure that this is all loaded correctly. So we want the bobbin to be in the turning clockwise when it's in, and also that when you're holding it like a yo-yo, it isn't dropping. If it is dropping, then it's not in the tension correctly, and you're also going to experience problems. Once it's in, and you can do that just by loading it onto the spindle and pushing it into place, we want to be able to feel the spindle there just coming through the front of the bobbin case. And then that should make sure that you are not going to get any big nasty loops and jamming of the machine, which won't hurt in any way, it's just a pain to clear, and you don't want that to happen. We want this to be a smooth operation. Tuck that spare thread away and in there. And also, just to reiterate about the foot, so when you are removing and putting on the hoop, I could do this one more time for you just to show. Just be wary of it, just keep it nice and low. And just, I don't think we showed you exactly how the hoop is removed, so to get it on, we're going underneath those bits there, and when it locates, it's it's sprung loaded basically, so bring that up and then pull it towards you and you'll feel it slide out of those. And just be careful of there. It's just very easy to get it caught on there and you might think it's jammed, but it's not. You just need to keep it low and out. Threads and stabilizer. This is also a key for successful stitching. If you've got any questions on that, do give us a ring. I mean, we do have brands that we do think any kind of branded thread is going to work much better than anything that isn't branded. So if you want advice on that, do give us a call. Stabilizer also. That's not so much a worry about the brand of it, but the kind of texture, the kind of thing you're doing for your project, again, we can also advise. So if you do have any questions about the machines in general, obviously before you buy or after, then just give us a call. We're more than happy to help. We can do WhatsApp and remote training and all sorts of things. And I hope you found this video helpful in setting up your new machine. Thanks very much. Bye for now.